Okay, we're ready. And let's go.
Our intro.
Okay. So, hi. I'm Crystal. As you can tell, this is our first rodeo show.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'll start.
Start.
A little bit about me. I am a mom. I am single.
Ready to mingle,
Ready to
motherfuckers.
mingle. I was married, so I'm happily divorced. I have created a beautiful relationship with my ex-husband.
Yeah.
I have a stepdaughter.
Who lives overseas.
Yes, who lives overseas, so
Yeah.
that helps. It does. It helps.
It does, yeah.
My daughter just had my grandson, my stepdaughter. I've raised her since she was 5.
Yeah.
And for myself, I used to. I want to be super blunt and straight up and honest. Like, this is the whole point of doing this podcast, is to be real, to be able to help others that are going through the same situation that I've went through in my past, and
Or similar.
yeah, exactly, and help them to overcome the quote unquote challenges.
Yeah.
But it's just the journey.
Yeah.
It's just the journey. So I've used to have coping mechanisms with drugs and alcohol. And
Yeah.
I've been sober now for almost 9 years. Let's go. And I've been diving into a lot more of the Tantra realm.
Yeah.
Reiki, shamanic, plant medicines, and that journey has helped me stay sober.
Yeah.
And help a lot of other people
That's what
stay
you
sober.
do.
Yes.
That's your job.
Yes. Yes. Well, my job is I'm an intimacy coach,
Hey.
and as we would call a tantrika.
Yeah.
But I think the world knows intimacy coach a little bit better than a tantrika. But in time, I will explain all of that.
Yeah, I think mostly that mostly has to do with like Eastern wording versus Western wording. We like to make everything sound really clinical and scientific so that we
Yes.
can be like, okay, I accept that and I get that. You know what I mean? I think Tantrika, they're like, what's that? Is that like a belly dancer? Like, what is that?
I used to be like, I'm a high priestess. My dad's like, oh God, Crystal. What? He's like, nobody knows what that is.
They're immediately gonna think it's like has its roots in like Christian Judeo, which is quite far from your spectrum.
Very far.
Okay, awesome. And why do you want to start a podcast? Why did you want to start this podcast?
Well, I'll let you give the whole story of the Facebook thing, but I think the world needs us.
What do
And
you
we
think?
need them.
Yeah.
Right? This is like, to me, this is a very mutual benefit.
Yeah.
Because when I work with my clients, maybe I won't tell them this, but I feel sometimes I get more from them than they do from me.
Yeah.
The growth and expansion. And that's what I want. I want to give back to the beautiful humans and fucking empower them again.
Yeah.
To know it's okay to be safe with your sexuality and even those dark, kinky thoughts, that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with
And
you.
to interpret it in not the way that we're being sold all of the time, right?
Yeah.
The idea of like what women empowerment looks like versus how it actually feels.
Yes.
I think that's one of your talents and like one of the things that you put out that's really, really beautiful too. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because I know you bring a lot of amazing, juicy stuff to me every day. I tell her she is right. Every day.
This is why we're friends.
Because
That's my love language.
she is. I like that you push me and I've found, like, since I've been your friend, you're the one friend that is like, no, that's not your truth anymore. Stop saying it. And I'm like, because I was saying to her, I'm like, oh, I'm not organized, and
Right.
I need discernment and discipline, and I need this, da. And you're like, bullshit.
Yeah.
She calls me on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Really. You do. You call me on my bullshit, and I've never had a friend actually do that.
But I appreciate
like
you
that.
saying that. And I like that, because actually that's going to go, what I was going to say is that for me, I just joked about love language, but really telling me I'm right every day is definitely not going to hurt my feelings towards you. But I've found that that's actually been one of my biggest challenges, not in just like love relation, but just in relation. Like even just like when I was working at restaurants and bartending and stuff, just being like a truth teller is, even if you soften it, right? Which I had to learn to really soften it. Most people don't want to hear it, and they're not ready for it. And this to say to yourself, like, yeah, maybe I'm not in the place that I should be in or want to be in. And then what you do is you like look ahead in such a macro sense, and it feels really, really intense, right? But if you just take the baby steps to get yourself out of that headspace or get yourself where you want to go. But I have found that that's hard. And it's hard for me to find people that like
appreciate
that side
it.
of me. Yeah, because it's
a value
is
for
intense,
me. Yeah.
right? It is intense. Like,
No, it's not. I find it funny. I'm like, oh, you're being so El Dramatica.
So dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic. I'm not Crystal. And I just like,
but it's true. And I guess it also helps too that, I was going to say, I don't know though, because I've known my husband for a billion years, and when he says he's a certain way, and I'm like, no, you're not. So I was going to say maybe it helps that I didn't know you before, right? Because we've known each other for like 3-ish years and 2-3 years. But I don't even think that that's true. I think that I've got a pretty keen eye, like set in the reality of like right now.
Yes.
I can see right now. But yeah, so I really appreciate you saying that.
oh, you're welcome, dear.
Thanks so much.
My pleasure. I value you. I see you, and I honor you.
I feel it. I feel it all.
Well, that's pretty much my spiel on
And you said you have. Did you tell everyone that you have one child?
I have Caden.
Yes,
and then I have
your
my
daughter.
stepdaughter, and then I've got River, my grandson.
Right. But Caden lives with you full time.
Yes,
He's here all the time.
Yes. So I'm single mumming it, right? Unless he
With
goes
a
and sees
teenage
dad.
boy.
With a teenage boy.
Yeah.
So yes, this is definitely topics we want to talk about, and how to help us as women to not demasculize. What?
I think all of the things you're saying are working. Let's just.
Demasculize.
I like it. I'm going.
Okay,
with
I'm
it.
going with it too.
I like it.
For us,
We'll get it on a shirt.
right? For us moms, and to help young girls as well to honor each other, for men to see the value of the beautiful feminine, and for the feminine to see the value of the beautiful masculine, and to bring balance back and harmony, and giving our kids navigation through all of that, right? Like navigating in this world is tough enough. It's like, even with Caden, he's mixed race, so I have to navigate him in a different way in this culture than I would if I had a white son. Yeah. That's just the facts.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
A black son.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally
exactly.
different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
So that's what the podcast will partially be about as well, is us as moms and navigating that.
Big time.
Right?
Big time.
Navigating that.
In fact, that's what our first episode is going to be about.
Definitely is.
So that'll be fun.
It definitely is. So tell us about you, Chris.
Okay, I will. I'm my favorite subject, so no problem. Okay, so it's funny because recently we went to a party together, and you know when you go to these social events and it feels like everybody kind of stands around or sits around, and the first thing everybody always asks, so what do you do, right? Yeah. What do you do? And I used to say, I run a children's event planning company, and we do over 150 events per month. And I did that for 8 years. And that shit drained me of my life energy. Like, it drained me of my life energy. If people are afraid of brides, they have never fucking met a mom in Barrhaven planning her 8-year-old daughter's birthday. Okay?
So those were called bridezillas. What would we call those moms?
Momzillas.
Momzillas. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Terrifying. So thankfully I was good with them. They're on a similar energy to me, but yeah, so it was super stressful. And so I did that for 8 years and then left that because of that. I literally was just like, I'm done with this. You can have everything. I don't want any sellouts, buyouts, nothing. I literally just want to piece the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And because I had 3 kids and it was crazy. It was so crazy. They were so little back then. And then I just went back to doing bartending and shit like that for a couple years. And then sadly, my mom passed away super unexpectedly in an accident. And while I was kind of being the one to take care of everybody, that's when my husband was like, how do you feel about not going back to work? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean not going back to work? That's not a thing. Like, we're not rich people. Like, I can't not go back to work. And long story short, I ended up trying it. And because I am a very competitive person.
She is very competitive. You want her on your team.
Absolutely.
Chris.
Absolutely. So I was like, okay, let me try to embrace this lifestyle. Okay?
Yeah.
But here's what, it's funny because we recently went to that party, right? And their instant response was like, oh my gosh, and they're coming from such an amazing spot. So thank you to them. But they were like, oh my God, that's so great. People don't, like, they really underestimate what stay-at-home moms do. And it's so funny. I'm like, my youngest is 12. I don't do shit for my children. I do the basic stuff that you need to do more. I do more than that for them.
You do way more.
I do, and you know,
spoil the crap.
They're spoiled,
and deservingly they're spoiled. They're good kids.
They have to work hard and everything, right? So they've got their rules.
Yeah.
But and then I'm like, and my other child, who's our show producer, everybody.
Clea,
so yay for my.
Clea. We love you, babe.
We do. Yay for teen pregnancy, because I wouldn't have a 20-year-old to help us right now for this. I'm just kidding, kids. Keep it safe. But it's like the first thing that they always want to like say is to just hype you up, which is beautiful, right? They want to hype you up because like it's so hard taking care of little kids and this and that's when I was like, oh, I don't have little kids. I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
I'm just a housewife, people. All right, internet? I'm a housewife. That's literally what I do. So literally it feels like my job because my husband has a very stressful job that consumes so much of his life. So basically I do every single thing for him. And there is no resources outside of like Christian homesteading women, which bless their hearts, right?
Yeah.
But that's not my fucking lifestyle.
No.
Right?
No.
So, but that's
not.
the sources that I had to go to find this kind of shit. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't find any, how do you take care of a husband? I don't know how to do this. So I'm like, shit. Right, so I did actually go onto these like Christian lady blogs and like I'm like, okay. It just wasn't rooted in our relationship and how we function together. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I am a very kind of like dominating personality, and he's a little bit more subtle. So I was like, okay, none of this is gonna, like, he's not gonna come home and tell me what to do. Like he wouldn't. He just wouldn't. He just wouldn't.
That's not.
Oh my God, he just wouldn't. Not at all. He's learning. He's learning to just be. Could you please get me those pants folded by tomorrow, or like pressed by tomorrow? And I'm like, oh my God, of course. He's like, are you sure? It's not. I'm like, no. Oh my God, honey, it's easy. But yeah, so totally different. So I really didn't have any resources. So during this time, while I'm trying to figure out how to be like a stay-at-home wife, okay, I was like, you know what would be really fun is if I started kind of blogging.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, I'll start blogging. My P.S. This jacket is fabulous looking, but I'm baking inside. And we are in Canada in December, and I'm baking. I better look really fucking good on these videos.
looks gorgeous.
God, yeah. For those just listening, just pretend I look like literally Angelina Jolie, mid-90s. That's what I'm going for beauty standards. So, so then I started blogging, and then I found that I had a real love of cooking. Like, at first I was kind of like, okay, I'll do some house stuff. Still, to this day, on my stories, because you can go back and you can look at your views. Yeah. Do you want to know the most views that I've ever gotten on a story on Instagram? Okay. Is for separating my motherfucking socks. I dumped out the sock bin. Okay. Yeah. And I showed people how I organize, because I think every family that's like a big family ends up getting a big fucking sock bag.
You do. Yeah. It's the one hit wonders, and then you have a party and you're like, okay, it's time to match socks tonight. I did that with my girlfriend Joelle. I was like, babe, I said, we need to have a sock party. And she's like, okay.
My friend Sandra is trying to do that. She's like, she keeps telling me, she's like, I'm going to come over one day, I'm going to organize those socks. I was like, you never have to ask. You could show up at 3 a.m. and be like, I want to organize those socks. I'd be like, come on in. Because I still have the big bag downstairs. So so that it's funny because there is a market for it, right? People want to know how to do these things inside of your home. Anyway, so I started really taking up food blogging and food posting on social media and stuff like that. So that's what consumes my kind of like, if I were to classify like a work time, that's how I sort of think about that now, because I do sort of schedule it in like a job, because if not, you just won't get it done, because you have to look really pretty, right? When you're on videos, you've got to sort out all your food. You have to have everything like, unless you want to do like a chopping video or something like that, everything has to be already like done. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it. So you do have to really consider it like that. But so I have 3 children and a husband.
He's very handsome.
Of course he's handsome. What? Of course. So, yeah.
It's inside joke, everybody. We'll let you in on this a little bit later.
So, and he is a fantastic human. And we've been together since high school with like a 3-year hiatus. And in that 3-year hiatus, I got pregnant and had Kalea. But he's been an awesome stepfather for her since she was like a baby. So, because he did take me back, world. Thank God he did take me back. But yeah, so that's it for me. Like, that's it for me. And then...
So what do you want to bring to the podcast? What is it that you are wanting to share with all of these beautiful humans that decide to tune in and tune in, and that will resonate with us?
So
right?
I didn't really know at first. I just really liked the idea. I do spend, I wouldn't say like a lot of time, but I do spend quite a bit of time on camera because of the blog, right? So for me, I was like, oh, this will just be fun. Let's just do it, right? Yeah. Because this is what she was saying earlier. Okay, I don't know if anyone else uses Facebook Messenger. Do you actually remember when you first sent me one and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know if you remember that, because it was like over 2 years ago. I get this because I'm used to it just being like, oh, and our friend Nat, we have a mutual friend named Nat, and she one time called me like a FaceTime?
Yeah.
Through that? And I didn't know you could do that, so I didn't know how to answer it.
Oh.
And I like could see as my face. And you know when you fucking open your phone and you're like, oh, I'm just the ugliest? Like, you know when you open it down here and you're like,
you can see up the nose. All that, like, the back.
Right here.
Right here.
There's so much. And I'm like, how do people love me? But anyways, so I didn't know I could do that. And then one day you like sent me this message and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I played it and I was like, oh my God, it's like a voice message. So then it's kosher to send the same thing back, right? And anyway, so we did that for like, I think you do that with like all your friends. You send Facebook Messenger stuff too. But anyways, so our conversations on there were so fucking funny and epic sometimes that I would literally like try to remember funny ones and I would go back and I would listen to them again. And then I would listen to my response and then I'd listen to yours. And then I was just like, oh my God, I don't care how unhumble I sound. These are fucking hilarious and passionate and informative.
Yes.
You know, because you love to collect information, I love to collect information, and I really feel like this is a really good place to put that out there, right? You and I just being like, sharing energy and ideas with each other is beautiful, but it also is pretty limiting, right?
Yes.
And I do find when you and I talk to a group of people, like we did at that party, it's funny. They're literally just like, where are you guys from? What do you do? Like, they're so confused by the situation of us communicating with them. And I think that's why I was like, we gotta have like, we have to find a platform to be able to share with other people. And also too, I have a container that feels like it just wants to be like bleh. And I know you have a container that feels like it wants to be bleh, right? So I feel like podcasts and videos, social media is a really great way to put that out there. And to be honest, I really want to hear feedback from other people.
So do I.
You know?
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Super, super excited. Like with all the fun little games we have prepared and ready for you guys. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And that's what, for me, that's the most exciting part of all of this is being able to, the feedback from everybody and to see where everybody's at, and for them to share, because they might share something if they leave a message that might help somebody else. Like
100%.
For me, it's all about ripple effect.
Totally.
Like, when I got sober, my close, energetic people around me all got sober with me, and then the close, energetic people around them got sober. And I was like, I'm like, I love this, like, like ripple effect. I was like, how amazing is this? And so for me, this is a platform where we can reach the masses,
create that ripple effect,
and have communities where people are feeling safe. That's my number one goal. Is we're not passing judgment. We're not, we're trying to bring expansion. Open your heart more, forgive yourself more, have patience for yourself more, because if you have all of this on your inner world, guess what? It reflects the outer world.
And I think us sharing because we also too, we have, even though we're really compatible in our personality and our lifestyles, actually, like our children are friends together and whatnot. But that's why I joked. I put on our social media, I was like, the Dharma and Greg, which if nobody remembers that show, why the fuck is that
show?
It was the best show.
It was the best show.
Every time I saw people were like, Dharma and Greg, what's that? I'm like, what?
Dharma was the hippie and Greg was the businessman.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God. But I feel like through sharing not just our experiences, but sharing our opinions and our concepts and our ideas will also help produce that ripple effect, because I think that people get really, really caught up in their everyday life, right? And it can seem very, this is all that there is.
No, exactly. Yeah. Where they're like, is this it?
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, no, motherfucker, it's not.
No.
The power and the magic that this human body, our breath, just even our breath alone can heal us. If you know how to breathe, which most of you don't.
I probably don't either. I'm a breath holder.
It's, breathe in, belly out, exhale, your belly goes in. Please practice, everybody. It's the baby breath. Yeah. That is our calming breath. But that breath, if you take your breath and if there's something going on inside of you, you ask your breath to go and to alchemize it. I'm going to use that word a lot on here. Alchemize. Oh, and I think I need to tell them about yoni and lingam.
Oh, God, yeah. This is why I said the Dharma and Greg of podcasts.
So she will use cock and pussy, and I will use yoni and lingam. Yes. So a yoni is the Sanskrit word for vagina.
Also, Crystal has a dog, and if you're watching a video, you'll see the dog.
Maybe. They might not. He's pretty tucked down.
I'm not a dog person. People are going to tune out immediately. Be like, I like the other hippie one, but I don't like the girl in the jacket. She doesn't like dogs. When people find out I don't like dogs and cinnamon, they're like, get the fuck out of here.
How do you not like cinnamon and dogs?
Well, I don't, okay, guys? I don't. I like
karma. And his name's Karma. How can
Yeah.
you not want him?
Telling
But
you,
she's
Karma's
super
right.
allergic to him. And he's, of
I
course, right behind her.
That's how dogs. That's what dogs do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So okay, sorry, back to my lingam and yoni talk.
fuck, yes, that's what we're
Come
talking
on,
about.
jeez,
Oh my
Louise,
God.
you're trying to pass over the good stuff. Chris! Come on.
Okay.
So this is a yoni, aka vagina.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be saying, I don't mind saying, vagina, cock, pussy, dick. But I prefer to say lingam and yoni, and I
Okay.
feel like I'm ready to bring this wisdom to the world. Imagine all the kids, they start going to school and they're like, hey, yeah, I touched my lingam last
Oh
night.
my God. It's a good way to keep it under wraps.
It
It's
is.
a good way to keep that shit secret.
Unless the teachers start watching us, then they're going to be like, we know what you're saying. You're watching that Fuking Moms, aren't you?
Oh my God. So yeah, that's who we are in the podcast. Like this is actually literally our first recording. This is
Yes,
like
it is.
We're going to do an
And we're
next
going
recording.
raw.
Yeah.
We're going full
We're
raw.
raw dogging it.
We are
We don't
raw
even have
dogging.
notes in front of us, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So you know what? Maybe in like a year from now, we'll look back at this and be like, oh wow, that was fucking terrible. But right now,
For now, this is
this
what
is
you
as
get.
good as it motherfucking gets. Okay. So yeah, we have a lot of topics that we've already figured out that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring on some guests.
Yes.
Oh my God, we completely forgot to tell everybody.
Yes. Tell me.
I screwed up buying microphone things, okay, because I'm not a professional tech person. I don't even know what they're called. Clearly, that's why I just said it, professional tech person. And we're working from one microphone, definitely right now, because we are.
Yeah.
Definitely for our next one. And then my super smart, talented, amazing daughter who's in the room, so I'm flattering her, so she'll do this, is going to...
Give her money.
We'll pay you for this. Come on, Kalea. She's gonna make it so that we have 2 microphones for our second podcast. So if this sounds like piss and vinegar, we're so glad that you stayed with us. We're so
Yes.
glad that you're listening to this point.
Yes.
And yeah, we're seriously
excited.
pumped, and we actually have been planning this for a really long time. So even
We've kept it very quiet because
We've kept it very quiet.
because there's a reason why I did this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going through a lot of seeing patterns.
Yeah.
Past
Yeah,
patterns.
yeah.
Like I've been looking at like the past 5-10 years and like the patterns. Oh, that
Yeah.
comes up. Oh, why is that happening again? Pattern. And I was like, every time I do a project,
okay.
I feel like there's outside forces that will maybe not consciously
Yeah.
put their bad juju,
Yeah.
but they do.
Yeah.
And then I always feel like I'll have my project like done,
Yeah.
but sometimes it will go flippy floppy.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, okay, you know what? A pattern is when I get excited, because this is
Yeah.
what I do. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's what I'm gonna do. It's what I'm gonna do.
This is my life now, guys. This is my life.
and I tell the whole world.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
You're going to
That's
keep
a
that
pattern.
energy to
Yes.
move the machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my sister.
Yeah.
The only person I told was Jen,
Her friend.
and like literally, and I didn't tell Jen until
Yeah.
like quite a while. I'm like, remember I told you? I'm like, okay, I did. I told Jen because I was like, don't say anything to anybody. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want to work with this energy on my own and with the cosmos and whoever else comes, I'll work with that energy. But I wanted it to be private.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kept this super secretive.
We did, but it's been in the like. There's a banging. I hope there's a banging. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But
Welcome
there's a
to
banging.
construction downstairs at my house. These guys.
Oh my God! So if you hear a banging, it's not your broken ear pods or the speaker. It's us.
It's the bedposts.
It's the. These guys are going long. Good job, lad. Good job. So yeah, so we'll wrap it up. But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're going to be bringing you lots of sensual, sexy content, lots of probably hilarious content because we're so funny. So It's going to be a blast, and we already have a lot of people that have, now that we've told people, right, because we have our social media and whatnot going, the response, at least to us, maybe behind closed doors, it is what it is. But the people that have supported us on social media are super pumped.
Yeah.
They're super pumped, so I'm super pumped.
So
it's going to
am
be
I.
fun.
So am I. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yay!
Okay, that's our intro!
We did it!
All right,
go.
so tune into our next one because, which will be next week, I guess.
Next week.
See you there, motherfuckers.
Peace.